Welcome back to Soil Stories, where we don't just garden for harvests, we garden for life beneath our feet. If you've been mulching faithfully, adding organic matter, and still wondering why your soil feels tired, compacted, or lifeless, this article is for you. Because there's one extremely common mulch mistake I see gardeners make over and over again, and it quietly destroys soil life while giving the illusion that you're doing everything right. The good news? Fixing it is simple. And once you do, you can literally double soil life faster than you think. Let's get into it. The mulch mistake almost everyone makes is treating mulch like decoration instead of a living system. Most gardeners spread mulch on top of the soil and walk away, believing the job is done. The soil is covered, weeds are suppressed, moisture is conserved. All true. But when mulch is applied incorrectly, at the wrong thickness, with the wrong material, or without considering how soil organisms actually work, it can smother life instead of feeding it. Healthy soil doesn't just need coverage, it needs air, moisture balance, gradual food, and biological activity. When mulch blocks these instead of supporting them, soil life collapses quietly. And here's the most damaging part. You may not notice it right away. Plants still grow for a while, the soil still looks dark, but underground the ecosystem is starving. At Soil Stories, we talk a lot about microbes, fungi, earthworms, and insects, and for good reason. These organisms are what turn dead, organic matter into plant-available nutrition. They improve soil structure, create aggregates, open air channels, and regulate moisture. Without soil life, nutrients don't cycle efficiently. Roots struggle to breathe, water either drains too fast or sits stagnant. Plants become dependent on constant inputs instead of thriving naturally. Mulch is supposed to be food for this underground workforce. When used correctly, it creates a slow, steady buffet. When used incorrectly, it becomes a barrier. The most harmful version of this mistake is thick, compacted, undecomposed mulch pressed tightly against bare soil. When mulch is applied too thickly, especially materials like wood chips, sawdust, or dry grass, it forms a dense layer that blocks oxygen exchange. Soil organisms, just like us, need oxygen. Cut off airflow, and aerobic life dies off quickly, leaving behind anaerobic conditions that smell bad and suppress roots. Another issue is moisture imbalance. Overly thick mulch can trap too much moisture at the soil surface while keeping deeper layers dry. This creates a hostile environment where fungi struggle to bridge layers and bacteria become inactive. Then there's nitrogen lockup. Fresh, carbon-heavy mulch steals nitrogen from the soil as it decomposes. If it's placed directly on soil without biological buffering, microbes pull nitrogen from the root zone, starving plants and slowing growth. The soil looks protected, but it's actually suffocating. The fix is to turn mulch into a living bridge. The solution isn't to stop mulching, it's to mulch with intention. Healthy mulch acts as a bridge between the air above and the soil below. It should breathe, absorb moisture gradually, and break down slowly into food. Not just sit there, like a plastic mat. Start by thinking of mulch as layers, not a single blanket. Soil life thrives when organic matter transitions gradually from fresh to decomposed. That transition zone is where microbes really explode in population. Instead of dumping mulch in one heavy application, aim for a moderate layer that allows air movement. The soil surface should feel cool and moist, not wet and slimy. If you lift your mulch and smell sourness, that's anaerobic activity, a clear sign of the mistake. Choosing mulch that feeds, not smothers, is so important. The material you use matters just as much as how you apply it. Woody mulches are excellent for long-term soil building, but they work best when partially aged or combined with softer organic matter. Dry grass, leaves, and crop residues decompose faster and wake up microbes quickly. When you mix textures, you prevent compaction and create habitat diversity. In Soil Stories gardens, we focus on local, diverse organic materials. Nature never covers soil with just one thing. Forest floors have leaves, twigs, fungal threads, insect waste, and decaying plant matter all working together. If your mulch looks uniform and lifeless, your soil probably feels the same. Thickness is the sweet spot most gardeners miss. More mulch is not always better. For most gardens, a layer that allows you to see hints of soil when gently parted is ideal. This encourages earthworms to surface, fungi to spread upward, and moisture to regulate naturally. When mulch is too thin, it dries out and feeds nothing. When it's too thick, it blocks life. The sweet spot creates a humid, oxygen-rich microclimate, exactly what soil organisms crave. Over time, this balance results in visible changes. Soil becomes darker, crumbly, and full of life. You'll notice fewer pests, stronger plants, and less need for constant watering. Timing matters more than you think. Another hidden part of this mistake is mulching at the wrong time. Applying heavy mulch to cold, inactive soil slows biological activity even further. Soil life wakes up when temperatures rise and moisture stabilizes. Mulching, just as the soil becomes active, amplifies life instead of suppressing it. Likewise, constantly disturbing mulch, removing it, replacing it, flipping it, breaks fungal networks and resets progress. Soil thrives on consistency. Once you fix the mulch mistake, let the system work. When mulch is working with your soil instead of against it, you'll know. Earthworms appear closer to the surface. Fungal strands form under the mulch. The soil smells rich and earthy, not sour. Water infiltrates evenly instead of pooling. Plants develop deeper roots and show steady growth, instead of sudden spurts followed by stress. Most importantly, the soil starts feeding itself. That's when gardening becomes easier, not harder. Soil organisms reproduce rapidly when conditions are right. By restoring airflow, moisture balance, and gradual food supply, you remove the main limitations on their growth. Instead of forcing fertility from the outside, you unlock it from within. This is why correcting this one mulch mistake often produces dramatic results in a single season. At Soil Stories, we don't chase shortcuts, we build systems that last. And mulch, when done right, is one of the most powerful tools you have. If there's one takeaway from today, let it be this. Mulch is not a cover. It's a conversation between soil and life. When you listen to what your soil needs instead of copying surface-level techniques, everything changes. Fix this one mistake, and your soil will reward you with resilience, fertility, and abundance for years to come. If you found this article helpful, make sure to subscribe to the Soil Stories YouTube channel, share this with a fellow gardener, and keep spreading knowledge that builds living soil, not just pretty gardens. Until next time, keep growing stories beneath your feet.